Hello, my friends. Jacob is here once again. Thank you for pressing play. You see that 33? The 33 on the WWE logo. I don't know why I just became someone from the South. I love the South, by the way. I lived in Texas for a while. Let me put the shofar up there. I was sounding the alarm, sounding the trump, if you will. I'm going to be talking about the Trumpster today on today's show. WWE just had WrestleMania. That's right, a lot of incredible symbolism to this. Incredible symbolism! You have no idea. The things that are going on today in the world, they're a little crazy, right? All the stuff that's going on with the banks, stuff that's going on with the dollar bill. All these nations, they're leaving the dollar bill. You got the BRICS nations, you got this nation, you got everybody saying, oh, we can do it in rubles now. Oh, we're going to do it in yuan now. We're going to do it in this now. We're going to do it. Japan leaving us. And they're like buying oil from Russia. Russia's going to be making a lot of money. Saudi Arabia is saying no more. We're going to pull back. Everybody's freaked out about the dollar bill. It's like the money changers. The tables are being overturned. It's interesting because all of this stuff's happening right after Palm Sunday, when Jesus rides into town and they lay all the palm branches at his feet. This is, of course, before his arrest and his, persecution and then crucifixion and then rising again on Easter Sunday, Ishtar, if you will. It's interesting. Good Friday's when he's supposed to, all that stuff's supposed to go down, and it's supposed to be 3 days, 3 nights, but really Friday to Sunday is not really 3 days. But we're not going to talk about that. And we're not going to just talk about WrestleMania and all the mad symbolism that's there. We're going to just talk about how God's kind of revealing everything. Everything. Such a way. It's like, how many shows? I could probably split this up into 3 different shows, but I figure I'll give it all to you at once, right? I'll give it all to you at once because there's a lot going down. This indictment with Trump. If you haven't seen my last live stream, check it out. You should. I just did it. You should probably check it out just to get caught up. But you see you look at the thumbnail there, and you see the Trumpster, looking like he's the hero. He's about to rise from the tomb. This is interesting. The stuff that all of this is going down at Holy Week. He's actually flying to New York. And on Tuesday, which by the way is known as Holy Tuesday, in the this miraculous week of sorts, if you're a Catholic, starts off Palm Sunday, then you got Holy Monday, you got Holy Tuesday, and then on Wednesday you got the betrayal. You got that's they call it Spy Wednesday. All of these things I'm not really that familiar with, but the story's pretty fantastic. A lot of things happen from the time that he gets down there to Jerusalem to, to celebrate the Passover, where the lamb is sacrificed. All of this stuff is very interesting and concerning because of the times we're in. People are going to be deceived. They say in the end days, this is the way it's going to be. The end days. So you look at all the stuff that's happening. This is, of course, Ethan's old little wrestling belt. You know me. If you know anything about me, I was the head writer of WWE between 99 and 2001 when the ratings were through the roof, baby. You know why? Because God has his hand on my life. Everything that God touches, he blesses, right? There's that great passage that says, I'll bless those that bless Israel. I'll curse those that curse Israel. That's all of us. If you're doing God's will, you know what's going to happen? Wherever he plants you, it's going to flourish. And then you leave, you're going to lose. You're going to lose that blessing. When I came in, this little history lesson, when I came in about 1999, they were getting beat by WCW. It wasn't long before we were beating them. And then it wasn't long before Vince ended up buying them. And then I left. I left the company in about 2001, and they lost half of their audience. Have yet to get it back. I'm not bragging. Nothing to do with me, of course. Has to do with God. But here we are, full circle. WrestleMania 39, which VKM, if you know him, he does all these great videos. He's the guy with the wrestling now. I reached out to him. I'm like, tell me some of this stuff, because I got to be honest, I didn't catch Mania. I had so many things going on, I didn't catch it. So I had to do a lot of catch up today. And I reached out to him, and he gave me a lot of insight. But you want to hear crazy? On Saturday, the huge entrance, the entrance that went viral entrance of Dominic. Mysterio, Rey Mysterio's son Dominic, the two of them have been feuding, the father and the son. The father's rebelling against the son. Get it, Rey? Is the father, the son is Dominic, and he ends up coming. The whole thing starts with an arrest. He's like arrested. He's coming down. He's got the guards around him, whether he's crazy or whatever, we don't know. But you see the persecution of the son being brought down to the ring. And then the father ends up whooping his butt. Spoiler alert, Ray, the son, Apollo, Trump. But Andrew was so super excited because he went to the event. He's there. And guess what happens during that entrance? Look at his sign. Look at his sign. Prominently displayed for VKM right there in his face. Isn't it interesting? All of this stuff that's happening right now. It's so bizarre to me. You look at that 33 on the WWE 33. That's that number, right? I actually put a tweet out about, Biden had Damar Hamlin. Remember number 3, the whole thing, and number 33 was standing, and his last name was Neal, around the whole thing that happened with Damar Hamlin. And then there's the picture of Biden and Damar, and they're holding up the jerseys. This picture, then you see the 33, and then you just talk about all the other crazy 33 things that happened. I just put this tweet out, and ironically, it was right after I was saying Twitter's like the only platform that I'm not censored on. And this tweet goes viral. Why? Because Vincent Kennedy, who's on Twitter, who has a lot of interesting things, he like retweeted me or something. He says they love to show their hand because, of course, there were just so much news about the 33. 33 armadillos in length of this new asteroid, 33 people harassing a dolphin, 33 this, 33 that. All over the place. But I find the timing of it all so incredibly interesting. For Jesus, 33 meant death and resurrection. Because of these tornadoes, 33 have lost their lives. 33 is in the news everywhere. 33 House Democrats, they're targeting 33 open seats next year. China's getting involved. 33 spots for research ship visits in Taiwan Strait and South China Sea. 33 charged with violent offenses and drug busts in Baltimore and a gang takedown. 33 countries were surveyed, and Japanese women, well, they sleep the least. But don't worry, maybe you get that ring bell, have everybody spying on you. They're 33% off right now. 33 everywhere you look. Do you know what 33 means as a Mason? Order out of chaos. That's right. Ordo ab chao. 33rd degree. Order out of chaos. And guess who put out this on Truth Social? 33 points of indictment. I wonder if it's all connected. WrestleMania, the main event, if you don't know, was Cody Rhodes, this guy right here, who looks a lot, by the way, like Homelander, and Trump, by the way. If you put them all together, they kind of look alike. But Cody Rhodes, he's facing Roman Reigns. Roman, the big news was, Roman Reigns, Rome reigns, the reign of Rome. He's been like a champion. And this would make it 1,000 days. He'd be a champion for 1,000 days, just like Rome, was around for about for 1,000 years. And then the whole thing, with Rome and Jesus went down. That's so cool. All of this stuff's playing out literally on the stage. Like literally. WrestleMania, of course. And then you want to talk about 33. You want to talk about secret societies and everything else. The WWE at the national anthem. This guy, Jimmy Allen, he's a country singer. He sang opening night or something. He sang the national anthem. But look at the way the guy's dressed. He's got the Freemason this, and he's got the upside down pyramid. So he's got the as above, so below, and he's doing the whole thing. Jimmy Evans, 33. That's just so crazy, right? People pointed out on Twitter, they said, the flags behind Jimmy Evans, they were the exact same type of flags that were behind Trump. They had all the gold fringe, right? So I looked into the gold fringe. You know what the gold fringe has to do with? The military. Those are like military flags. What's military flags doing flying? That's because supposedly there's some kind of a kooky, super secret thing going on, right? That's what they want us to believe. Or maybe it's really happening. I don't know. You got to tell me in the comments section. And hopefully by now you've hit that like button, because when you do that, it gets more people to come and watch the show, and it helps me out because the more people that watch the show, it just makes it easier. Then I can do more things. But the people that do help on Patreon and everything else, I'm so grateful to you. Thank you for the people on PayPal. Thank you for the people that are getting the God's Champion. There should have been God's Champion at this match. in WrestleMania, right? Should have been. But, whatever. We had Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. But you know what else? There was a really weird match. Big match. Finn Balor. He's known as the Demon, right? Hey, speaking of the Demon, did you know that WrestleMania was sort of sponsored by the movie that's coming out on April 14, which is about the Pope's exorcist, Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe, the actor Gladiator. He's playing the Pope's exorcist, and he does this whole thing. He's speaking here, and it's all spooky, and he calls the whole thing. He's like, let the ritual begin. The ritual, which would be WrestleMania. He was talking about the match, Hell in a Cell match. Hell in a Cell that was between Finn Balor, and Edge, like the edge of the sword. Edge used to be known as one of the best tag teams ever. I used to, that's when I was there. Edge and Christian, they were awesome. TLC, those were matches that we scripted. It started when I was working there, the TLC matches. And Edge and Christian were known for, being a group. It's just interesting that the demon Finn Balor, he ends up losing, right? How's he lose? He loses because Edge gives him a spear. Just like the spear that takes out Christ. But here's weirder still, he got his head split open. Do you see the symbolism here? Do you see the symbolism? The fatal head wound that went down? Big deal. He showed it was gruesome, how terrible it was. Andrew told me they had to stop the match and sew him up and then let him go back to the match. That's how messed up this was. Could have been a fatal head wound indeed, if you know what I mean. So here we have all the symbolism. We have the symbolism of the son rebelling against the father, the son being arrested, and then, of course, just the symbolism of it all. I even made a little prediction. I think Cody Rhodes is going to probably end up with the title. Maybe they're going to flip-flop the title on like a Raw event or a SmackDown or something. Probably within a couple of days of this all going down. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying if the symbolism is true, because I got to tell you, when I saw Cody Rhodes, I was thinking he looks a lot like Homelander, and he reminded me so much of Trump's trading card. Just did. It just did. And it seems like he's going up against the deep state and everything else, right? Just seems that way to me. Roman Reigns. I don't know, maybe I'm looking too much into this. It's not me. I didn't decide to have the guy indicted on this time frame, right around the same thing, so that everybody can draw conclusions to him being persecuted, him being arrested, him being betrayed, and God forbid, some kind of head wound. God forbid. I shared another clip of Triple H. I used to be his writer, Paul. Nice guy, really talented, just amazing. Right? The guy's just amazing. I was always a huge fan of his. But, he goes up there and he, retires his boots, and he does the whole devil horns thing. The whole bat from that thing, and he's like, woo, woo, woo. And I'm like, why you got to do that stuff? And I know they're going to say, oh, it's because of this group and that group, and maybe it has to do with DX, or has, but really, what you're doing what you're doing, and everybody knows what you're doing. It's the devil horns, pal. Right? It's the devil horns, Mr. Triple H 888. So we got the police. They're already all over New York City. They're setting everything up. The stage is being set. They got barricades. They got everything. They're saying, well, he's going to fly in, and then he's going to turn himself in, and he's going to fly back, and then he's going to give a speech. He's going to give a speech at Mar-a-Lago. That's what he's going to do. And not only is he going to give a speech and everything else, but the news, a lot of people are saying, that maybe the judge is going to put a gag order, not allow him to speak. It's that, because if he speaks and he ends up in jail, it's not going to be cool. I really hope, because I really hope that all of this stuff just goes away. I want it all to go away. It's like, don't we have enough on our plate? Especially with what's going on with the dollar bill. Especially because everybody thinks that this is all some big setup to push for, central banks' digital currency. That's what they think this is all about, right? You gotta crush the economy. You gotta crush the dollar. You gotta do all these things, and then you come with the bailout. The idea is that because of course the dollar bill is not backed by gold. I don't know if you know the history of any of this stuff. I think Nixon was the guy that nixed it. Get it? He nixed that. But at the time that all this stuff's happening, literally, spiritually speaking, it looks like the money changers tables are being turned over. They're being turned over. We're not doing it anymore. We're not doing it anymore. I have a sneaking suspicion that Donald Trump is connected to, that he's going to probably come in and fix the whole thing. That's what I've been saying for a while. bring in the New World Order, right? Right? He would probably be the guy. He would be the guy. He'd be the emperor, the one that they'd crown. He'd be the one that brings it all together, the world president, as they say. My buddy Devin, who I used to work with years ago, he just sent me today just a weird little commercial. He said this is a commercial from Japan from 6 years ago, but they have Trump as like the president of the world. Just weird. Just weird. People worship this guy, and I hope he's a good dude. I don't know. Some people, accuse me of being a fan of his. Other people accuse me of hating on him. I think the whole thing's a scam. I really do. I wish I didn't feel this way, but it just seems like everything's playing out. Even the group that Dominic Mysterio and Edge were connected to, it's called Judgment Day, right? How much more clear can it be that we're in these days right now? Just a lot of interesting news. Of course, the BRICS countries, China, Brazil, Russia, India, and all. I mean, and then Kenya, the president of Kenya telling his citizens, just get rid of the dollar. It's going to be worthless soon.
I am giving you free advice that those of you who are holding dollars, you surely might go into losses. You better do what you must do, because this market is going to be different in a couple of weeks.
Fourth Musketeer on Twitter put out this video, and it was just this guy, I guess an economist or something. He was talking about how it's gonna go down, like the instant that they're not going to use the United States dollar as the petrodollar because it's backed by oil. The instant, all the oil countries, the Saudi Arabia, and the instant they say we don't want yours anymore, we're going to go with, the yuan, or we're going to go with the ruble, or we're going to go with whatever. The instant that happens, the dollar's going to be worthless. And then inflation's going to go through the roof, and everything's going to be so disturbingly expensive. And then people are going to, the economist says that, then people are going to turn to crime because it's going to be too hard to even get a loaf of bread. They make it sound like it's scary. Like they say it's like Judgment Day, right? That's how spooky it's going to be. And then they say, they're going to try to pass a bill, and they're going to try to, reduce the spending and the pricing on everything. And then after the bill, they say what's going to happen, even because the damage has been done, that they're going to say, you know what? We just came out with this currency. We're going to give you all money. But you got to sign up and you got to do it. And then from there on out, 100% of your purchases are going to be controlled and censored, and you can be cut off. Some people are saying that would be the mark of the beast. Now, the mark of the beast is something spiritual. But there is like a literal story that we can understand from what's happening here today. I have a good friend named Steven. He has a company. It's an amazing company, and he's offered, and I'm still kind of dragging my feet. He wants to sponsor the channel. He wants to sponsor it, and I think it's amazing. He has all these amazing products called trulyfree.com. Look it up. Everything's it's more organic. You don't have to worry about chemicals and everything else. But he's in the process of creating some kind of a system too, where he because he sees this coming. So it's really kind of cool to watch the kingdom of God, the people that are, serving God and trying to be, kind and like this company, they do so many amazing things. They help people, traffic victims and everything else. It's really, this is a nice guy. When I had lunch with him and everything else. But if this happens, his idea of another way for people to, buy food and buy stuff like that, it's going to be helpful. So let's hope that he gets to work on that. And let's hope also I get to work on finally signing up for Truly Free. Here you go. It's a free plug for you. I didn't get paid for this, but I use their products. They're awesome. And I use he has a skincare line. They sent me this beautiful box. Danielle was like, he must really like you. I'm like, yeah, he does. He does. I like him too. He does a Bible study every Sunday. It's just nice to know people that are movers or shakers in the world today are actually trying to serve God and serve all of you. We're going to need it. India's offering its currency as an alternative for trade countries, trying to disaster-proof stuff like this. Saudi Arabia and China, they're getting closer and closer to a deal. So some people are saying, should U.S. be worried? Other people say, nah, dollar's still strong, nothing to worry about. Who knows? But I do know all these OPEC nations are announcing surprise oil production cuts. And that's going to be hurtful to a lot of people. And also, we know Biden is raising taxes like a ridiculous amount. And he on Twitter yesterday, he's like, oh, and anybody who makes under $400,000 isn't going to feel it. Just this guy has ruined everything, right? And I think that was part of the plan. I think it was supposed to happen that way. We're going to Biden our time until, the hero comes after being persecuted and being, attacked and maybe imprisoned. He rises again and he saves the day. That's the story. It's playing out. Wouldn't it be great if it was true? But I remind myself all the time about the things that were created under his watch, so I'm suspect of a lot of it. You got to tell me in the comment section. You got to tell me in the comment section if you think this is a good thing. I'm praying it is, because what choice do we have but to sit back and just let God do what God's supposed to do? This is the time. Christ is riding into town on the ass. Christ is turning over the money changers' tables. Christ is rising people from the dead, right? Christ is going in and he's setting things straight. He's saying, woe to you Pharisees, woe to you scribes, you do this, you do that. He's setting things up, and then they're going to what they're going to do? They're going to turn him over. Persecution, the arrest. But then what happens? He rises again, and then he's seen of those who are supposed to see him. Isn't that amazing? Not all people. Not all people. The people that were on the road to Emmaus in the beginning, they didn't even know. They didn't even know Christ was with them. Do you know Christ is with you today? Do you know this? Do you know that as you're going along your journey, right there in your midst, waiting to break bread with you, just like that, all you got to do is ask for the truth no matter what the cost. All you got to do is go to God. God is in charge of all of his people. So don't get too stressed out. Don't get freaked out. But you got to tell me. Maybe I'm not as worried as I should be. Tell me if I should be more worried, or tell me, you know what, Jacob, your faith is in the right place. You've been telling us all along that all this stuff was playing out, and it's playing out, right? It's playing out. So let's just enjoy the show. I love each and every one of you. Do me a favor, please do. Hit the like button, leave a comment, share the channel around. Make sure you're subscribed, because many times people are not subscribed. Enjoy the trailer, and if you want, get yourself some merch. Everything's in the description of the video below. Don't forget The Calling is available now. It's doing fantastic. Get it anywhere you want. Leave me a review, and I'll see you next time. I love you all. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
September 10th. Mars hangs closer to the Earth than it has in 6,000 years. Like the light that led men from the east to a child in a manger, it could well be a sign of good things to come. Thomas James shall be his name. The world will change because of him. In the small town of Bethel, in a time not unlike our own, a child with a great purpose is born. Years later, alienated by his peers and abused, Thomas suffers a devastating loss. When it appears he has nothing left to live for in the world, this is when his true calling begins. While trying to escape the sinister powers that be, a terrifying vision haunts him. Miraculous events seem to follow the peculiar young man as he struggles to come to terms with what he was born to do. The stage is set. The time is at hand. The truth will rise and a revolution will begin. The startling revelation of who Thomas James is, truly, will change the lives of those around him and set off a chain of events long ago foretold. There is more to this novel than one might think. Inside these pages hides a treasure just waiting to be discovered. So if you've ever wondered if there's more to life, or why it is we suffer, then this story will not only captivate you, it may just open your eyes to a truth that could set you free. Find out what is in us all that makes us heed the calling.